Yeah,
Um,
sure.
I wanted to introduce Lacey Moore, who is the artist for Decay. So this is the September prize. So I haven't said anything other than I've worked with her on this adventure of the 10-year anniversary of Decay. But she has done all the art that you see on the interior of Decay, and I am so excited that you were able to go on this adventure with me and to be a part of creating these characters, bringing them to life. So first, I wanted to say thank you for sharing your talents with us and see if you wanted to
Um,
say anything.
thank you so much. It's a pleasure, honestly. Thank you for having me on the project.
Mhm.
It's been a lot of fun. Like
Yeah,
the whole 2 years, 2.5 years of working on this has been really, really fun.
yeah, I've really enjoyed it. So I wanted to know, kind of, for you as an artist, what
Hmm.
got you into creating the art? Was see some of that behind you, and what inspires
Oh
you to
man.
continue to do that?
Ah, I mean, I've been doing art my whole life. Honestly, I've been like, I think it all started like when I was 4 years old. And I was just like creating. I would actually tape pieces of paper together, create life size characters,
Right.
and like I think that I actually got serious about it as a career standpoint when I was like 17 or 18, like
Wow.
right before I went into college. So yeah, I basically went to college for art for 3.5 years. Got my bachelor's in media arts and animation, but honestly, I've always just had like um, a fascination for creating characters or like helping other people create their characters. It's
Yeah.
fun. It's fulfilling to me. So
Yeah. I think I can draw stick figures really well for the most part. So when it comes to creating actual anatomic people, I could have never brought these characters off the page the way that you've had.
uh, see, like with me, I can't write. So like you've got the talent there. You are an amazing writer. And like that's something I wish, some talent I wish I had. So it's like with you and me, it's like
Yeah,
opposite, you know. But
exactly.
like
Exactly.
with our powers combined.
Yes, unity. I
Yes.
love it. Yeah, so I think I have, when I'm drawing or writing, I have these really strong images that really involve all the senses of um, the smells that you would encounter or the way that someone would look and the energy that they have in that
Yeah.
way. So I think when we are working on these different pictures, it was really cool to see that kind of come through in all of the characters, that you were
Yeah, yeah.
able to take the essence of what they were feeling in that moment and bring it off the page, which is really cool.
Oh,
Um,
thank you. Yeah.
there is one picture that I wanted to share with everyone.
Oh,
Uh,
sure.
I wanted to share Campfire because I think that is such a beautiful picture. And I think it really talks about just everything that is going on and the time period of the book. Violet, the main character, one of the main characters, is just in a place where she's trying to learn about what happened in the past and how they
Mhm.
got to where they're at. And so, for Campfire, what when you were creating that, how did you go about creating the dimensions and the colors and just the overall feel of that? I feel like it's a very powerful picture.
Yeah, well, I think with Campfire, I think it's really important to capture like her expression in it too. Just
Yeah,
to have her kind of visually see her contemplating and thinking about like what's happened, as
yeah,
well as like I really enjoyed painting the lighting in it, like the glow from the fire and everything,
yeah,
and
yeah,
basically focusing in on her and like her inner thoughts almost,
yeah,
you know. So
yeah.
yeah, that one was a lot of fun for sure.
And that there's so much color, like the bright yellows and oranges of the fireplace, and the contrast of that with like her go get 'em outfit that she has on the whole time,
Yeah.
and just the really green behind her of nature, just really trying to recover from what has happened before with the
Yeah.
uprising. So I think it's really it speaks to the transition that they're going through in that time of trying to figure out how can we come back together, how can we build together, and
Right.
create something new. But at the same time, it does take just a moment of reflection to look at, what was behind us. And there's always this conversation that Violet doesn't know a whole lot about because she was so young when the uprising happened, of money and how it played such
Right.
a huge part in society and how it separated people in so many ways. And it created this classism that no one could really survive. And so this, she doesn't know that, right? Like, she wasn't around when money was a thing, but the
Mhm.
symbolism of, like, now it's just kind of useless, or we just kind of use it to keep warm. But
Right. Right.
we would place so much emphasis on the dollar and so much emphasis on money. And in the future, it's really like, oh, I'm just going to throw it in here with everything else
Yeah.
because we got to keep warm, and that's the most important thing. And
Mhm.
I think seeing that come to life and seeing that in such a soothing way, it's not very violent or graphic, and she's not burning money as like a political statement. She's just
Right.
doing it because she needs to keep warm. And I think it speaks to what's happening in that time period and what's happened after the moral decay of society has kind of taken over.
Yeah, I think that was like really powerful. Like that scene thing is like it was really important to show just
Yeah,
how money. I mean, yeah, it's important as a tool to use, but like having all that emphasis on it is really unhealthy. You know?
yeah, yeah, and kind of leads us astray from what's the most important things in life. So I really,
Yeah.
really like that picture. Another picture that I really liked a lot, that really, to me, was, I thought you did such an incredible job. There's a few. There's definitely that I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is incredible.
Oh,
I
thanks.
really love the colors in Tabitha when she's kind of laying
Oh
on the
yeah.
ground, and
Mhm.
you can kind of see the blood coming off of her neck, and she's laying there with this teddy bear. And you did such a
Yeah.
good job of the juxtaposition of this really soft, fragile child, and almost like a gruesome picture
Yeah.
at the same time. What was it like creating that, and what inspired you
Oh.
to really push that direction with the colors and the design?
Man, that one was so hard to work on. I was like, oh, I felt so sad for her.
Yeah,
But yeah, I thought that the colors having more blue tones would symbolize more like sadness or like
yeah,
having that transition of like from innocence to you know
yeah,
being immortal. You
yeah.
know, is the yeah that was that was rough to work
Yeah,
on, but it turned out. I think it turned out pretty good. I
yeah.
had a lot of fun.
It was really hard to write too. I think
Oh,
for Tabitha, to me, she represents so much innocence in our society that
hmm
we lose sometimes in all the chaos. Here's this fragile child. She symbolizes our next generation of youth, of young people that are trying to look for direction. And her
hmm
parents just kind of leave her out there in the cold. And I feel
yeah,
like, as a society, sometimes we get lost in everything that we're currently trying to accomplish, and we somehow push our kids out before they're ready to deal with a lot of really big issues that
yeah,
they have to deal with. And so for her, I think her character obviously develops a lot in the book, and I don't want to give too much away, but I
yeah,
feel like that was just like a moment that really took her from being this really innocent, let me look to my parents for guidance, to now
mhm,
being introduced to a world that she's not quite ready for, and that
yeah,
leads her to where she ends up going in the book. And so it was really, really cool, I think, to see that come to life in your drawing,
mhm.
and it's so
Oh,
simple. And yet at the same time, it's so grabbing. It makes you think about, how am I directing my children, if you have them, to be better, to be stronger, to do
mhm.
things in life that are healthy and good for you, instead of exposing them to things that might be detrimental to their growth. So
Yeah, yeah, like preparing the youth for the world we live
yeah,
in.
right.
Yeah, Yeah.
Well, is there anything about this book, the development of these pictures, that really stuck out to you that you really enjoyed doing?
Like definitely creating the characters. Like it's fun. Like I had a great time with you talking about the characters, how their personality is, the like what they look like, their backstory and everything. Are like making that come through
Yeah,
into the book. That's like
yeah,
probably my favorite part out of everything, and just it's fun seeing the characters grow throughout the book, and
right.
like as I'm painting them, I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's great,
Yeah,
yeah. So
I think it's been really cool to see how everyone has, over the length of the book, they kind of developed and they went through these different changes, and you drew that into the book, and you really helped those pieces um, become part of the story in a way that it's hard to even describe. And so at the beginning of the book, you have characters and they're totally within their own world and they have their own way of doing things. And then as you see these pictures that you drew, as they interact and kind of bump in with other characters in the book, it fundamentally changes them. It changes how
yeah,
they look. It changes the feel of these scenes, and I think it's really cool to kind of see that develop through your art. So,
oh,
um,
it was fun making it, fun seeing these characters develop as I was like working on a project with you.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
wow, this is great.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. So before we go, I wanted to give you an opportunity to kind of talk about Lendermations, where
Oh,
that came from, where you're going, and any projects that you're working on right now.
oh my goodness. Yeah, so Lendermations, it's going great. Yeah, it's business has been picking up well. So Lendermations, it's just basically my freelance job. It's great. It's fun. I do a lot of fan art characters. Like I have some artwork behind me
It's
that
awesome. Those are
I
beautiful.
oh, thank you. But yeah, I focus on a lot of like doing character development, character creation. Um, yeah, so and I've actually gone onto Twitch now, so I stream live a lot on there.
That's
Do like
awesome.
character requests and stuff. So it's been going great
Awesome.
so far.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for sitting down with us today. I really appreciate how much effort you put into this. It has been a 2 year project, and I'm super excited that it
Yeah.
finally kind of came to this culmination. And we get to see all of your brilliant artwork. You're super talented,
Oh,
and I know that there's so much ahead of you in your career and what you're putting out there. And I just want to thank you for always being a joy to work with, and being so professional and just so creative. It's
oh,
been so
thank you. I say the same thing about you. Like, oh my gosh, it's been great. Working on this whole project with you last couple of years, and you're very talented yourself. Writing, it's amazing. I can't wait to see what more stuff you create in the future.
thank
And
you.
maybe we can work on another project together.
Yes, yes. I have some ideas. I have some ideas. All right. Well, thank you so
Yeah.
much for coming to talk with us today, and I hope you
Oh,
have a
thank
great one.
you. Yeah, it's been an honor. Thank you so much, Anne.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye bye.